hello. Welcome back. All of that fun. I'm Angela. We're playing Skyrim. First of all, yesterday's video was screwed up. I did not realize my sound settings had been changed, and basically the game sounds were somehow turned way up, so that anytime I'm talking to you, while game sounds are happening, you can't hear me. Now, today I have found settings in my editing program that but I want to know what's over there, that may have helped me yesterday, but I didn't know about these settings yesterday. So, yeah. It's a little late. These are just crates, just chilling. Okay. So, what we're gonna do... Oh, sister is fighting slaughterfish. I'm gonna go grab these nern roots. So I think I have found some settings that will make sure that doesn't happen again. I can't say that for sure, though. Cause I'm new to editing, alright? I had never edited video, until I started doing YouTube channels, which was back in like March. I think is when I started my first one. Maybe February? I think it was March. Anyway, the point is, I had never edited, and so I was looking for something fairly simple to use, fairly inexpensive. You know, I'm not getting Final Cut Pro or Sony Vegas or... I mean, Final Cut's Apple anyway. Is what a lot of YouTubers use. I mean, I'm not against ever getting Final Cut Pro, it's just, I'm broke. I'm broke as fuck. So, where did Cicero go? Like, my horse is right there. Looks like my horse is fighting. Oh, there's Cicero. He was underwater. Apparently, they're still fighting a slaughterfish. Did you get it, Cicero? Do you need help? Oh, see, these little slaughterfish are bothering Cicero. You can't fight in the water, which is annoying. That's really the biggest annoyance about it. You can't swing your weapons, you can't use your bow, it's stupid. I gotta get away from them now so I can fast travel. So anyway, what I ended up getting is Filmora by Wondershare, okay? Easy to use. There's a free version that has like their big ass watermark over your video. That's temporary, you know, that's as long as you have the free version. Once you get the which is not much, it's like 30 bucks for a year license, then that's gone. But I haven't really messed with the settings much. I kept my shit simple, okay? I record my game with a program called OBS, Open Broadcaster Software. I forget. Anyway, and it records my game, webcam, my audio, the game audio, and all of that in one file, okay? And that made editing extremely simple for me. If there were parts I needed to cut out, you know, add my title screen and all that, really easy to do. But then when something like yesterday happens, where my settings got screwy, I don't have any way to fix it. I don't. Because the audio and video are not separate. So, I've messed with some settings, both in OBS and in my editing software. I've been playing with it for like the last 30 minutes before I started recording. I I've now figured out what file format to record in an OBS that lets me in multiple audio channels. So I have 2 audio channels recording right now, one for my microphone and one for the game sounds. It is still being put into one file. With Filmora, you can separate the audio from the video. They have a setting called, what did they call it? Like separate audio or something like that. And basically you click on your video file and say that, and then it pulls the audio out as a separate file. It took some work though to figure out how to make it work with 2 audio files, because it doesn't natively have that, where you can have 2 audio channels. So it can only pull out 1 audio.
Thank you very much.
So I finally figured out how I think I can do it. I'm going to mess with it the most when I'm actually editing this video. I'll really play with it. That way I can adjust the volume of each individual audio file so that if something gets messed up and my settings aren't right, I mean obviously the easy thing is to have my settings right, and then you know the audio levels between my mic and the game are fine, you can still hear the game, but you know it's not loud. There's still a Penitus Oculus. That doesn't make sense. I killed the Emperor, people. Anyway, obviously the easiest thing is if I have all my audio settings, then I don't have to separate the sound files and do anything. But I think I have figured out how to do that so that if like the game sounds end up too loud, I can turn those down separately. Which would be quite helpful. So, hi. Hi.
Why then I'll set his clothes
Iddles. You can't see him. Here, hang on. Let's see. What? I get it. There he is. Damn, he's on my desk right now. Also, the vacuum cleaner sitting back there. Some vacuuming needs to take place. Hang on, now I have to get my webcam back on my. But sit. Wait, that's stupid. Now you're too low. He's just sitting here. Get me like, stop touching me. Okay. So let me fill you in on what we're doing in the game, and then I will go back and redo the life update from yesterday. I take back what I said earlier about I learned some editing that might have helped me yesterday, because yesterday the OBS file wasn't recorded in a way that had the audios on separate channels. So that actually wouldn't have helped me yesterday to know what I know now about Filmora. It takes both of those settings to fix it, so yeah. What I've decided we're gonna do now that Dark Brotherhood is done, I actually asked my husband, what do you think I should do? And he said the Civil War storyline. So, I always join the Imperials, not the Stormcloaks. I really, really, really hate the Stormcloaks. They're racist. And you can see that in Windhelm, the way the Dark Elves and Argonians are treated. They are quite racist. One of their favorite lines to say is Skyrim belongs to the Nords, which the Nords are a race, so they don't care about anybody else. Yeah, I don't like them. I'll tell you a little more later about why I dislike them once we get to a certain part in the,
I'm telling you, Ulfric's planning an attack on Whiterun.
I never knew there was an enchanting table chilling over here. Or an alchemy lab right here.
That's not what my scouts
anyway, I always join the Imperial Legion, so here I am, coming to join.
Are my men now giving free rein to anyone who wanders into the castle? Do you have some reason to be here, citizen?
I mean, they do give you a reason at the very beginning of the game if you do the normal.
Why don't you have a chat with
beginning of the game?
We might have use for someone
they give you reason to hate the Empire, but
going to try to take Whiterun.
basically the
If
normal
Walgroof refuses the Legion's right to garrison troops in the
beginning
city,
to the game
on the other
is
hand,
that you get
also
caught by the
refuses to
Imperials trying to
acknowledge
cross over
Ulfric's
the
claim.
border illegally.
Well, if he
And
wants to
so
stand outside the protection of the Empire,
you
fine.
are
But
taken
Ulfric
to
pillages city.
Helgen.
General,
But
You
the problem
people and your
is
damn
you're
yards.
on the same wagons
Sir,
that they caught some
you
Stormcloaks
force
and
the Lord
Ulfric
to
himself.
accept help he hasn't asked for.
So they're going
If
to
Ulfric's
execute
making a move
them
for
for
White
treason
Walkers,
because they're causing this civil war. So they decide to execute you too because you're there, even though they don't know who you are. So, you know, that gives you a little bit of reason to dislike the Empire in the beginning.
Yes,
The
sir.
Imperial Legion, rather.
You
But,
Nords and your bloody sense of honor.
overall, I think
Sir.
I think they do what's best for Skyrim overall. And sometimes that
I've
means
got a
hard
good feeling about
decisions
you,
like
and I
making
don't often
peace
get
with
good
the
feelings about
Thalmor.
anything. A warrior knows to trust
So,
his gut.
we're gonna start the
I'm
Imperial
not going to go
storyline.
through the normal process with you.
Um,
I've got a little test.
while we're doing this, I'm going
Past
to give you
that,
my
and
life
we'll talk
update
about you joining the
again.
Legion.
You might have heard bits and pieces of it in yesterday's video.
Is that confidence or bravado?
So,
Confidence I can use. Bravado gets soldiers
I need to
killed.
turn down the game
We'll
sounds
soon find
in
out.
my ear
I'm sending you to clear out Fort Haragstad.
because
If you survive,
it's
you'll
distracting when I'm
pass.
talking.
If you die, then I'll have no
I have
further
an itch.
use for your corpse.
Freaking cat hair, that's what it is. It's from this little fucker right here. He's laid down, by the way, here. See him laying on my desk. Also, that's my altar. Alright, let me try to get this in place again. Are we good? We're good. Okay, cool. You're like, stop!
The ancients built many
Okay,
fortresses
so
that dot the landscape of Skyrim.
little reminder for those of
Sadly,
you that
most
might
have
be
fallen
new,
into
haven't
disrepair,
watched my old
and
videos,
nearly
I
all
do
have been overrun with
recommend
bandits or other vagabonds.
recommend
Fort Haragstad is one of the few that remains
that
mostly
you
intact.
go to my channel and look at my playlist. Let me give you the name of it. Hang on, because I forgot what I called it. It has something to do with migraines. Then again, the name of my channel has something to do with migraines. So, it's called Important Migraine Related Videos. Okay. I suggest if you want more information about what's going on with me, please go watch those videos. That's why I put them into a playlist, was to make it easy.
Good, that's what I want to hear. Now go make it happen, soldier.
So, basically, I have chronic migraines that just started about 3 years ago being chronic. I've had migraines since I was 18, and I'm 36 now. But they just started being chronic about 3.5 years ago now, actually. Time flies, man. I've been to multiple neurologists. I've been to the Mayo Clinic. I've been to multiple family doctors. I've been to all kinds of people. Most of the treatments for chronic migraines that are preventative treatments that you take on a daily basis to try to reduce the number of migraines you have, they don't work for me. There's multiple medications neurologists use. There's supplements like magnesium and butterbur. There's Botox for migraines. They actually inject Botox in 31 different locations. Some are on your face, your temple area, back of the head, and then right in your shoulders here. I had a few sessions of that. Nothing has helped. Nothing has actually reduced the number of my migraines. They've actually gone up. For the year 2016, the largest number of migraines I had during 1 month was 19, and that was the month of December. That was the very last month of the year. Most months it was more like 12 to 16, somewhere in that range. And 12 was because I don't know why. Most of them really were more like 15. I think like my average for the year, if I remember right, was like 14. My lowest months were 10, and those were good months, obviously. But the majority of the months, I'm much higher than that. Alright, we gotta go to Fort Hragstad. Oh, here we go. It's up here. Alright. So by the end of 2016, they were becoming so much more frequent. As I said, December was my worst month ever. that I went on a short-term disability leave. I had my second round of Botox in January, so the initial purpose of that short-term disability leave from my job was to get through that second round of Botox, and then yay, miracle, you know, my migraines would be reduced. That didn't happen. Second round of Botox did nothing. So I stayed out on disability leave. Disability through my work, short-term disability maxes out at 6 months. So mid-June was that. Um, fuck, my character's hungry. Let's just drink. Let's just drink a blood potion. Oh my god, I have so much stuff. I need to sell some stuff apparently. Apparently I made some potions and did not sell them. Come on, Shadowmere.
Cicero is hungry.
So
Need a sweet roll.
being on short-term disability was bad enough. They would only ever approve me for like a maximum of a month at a time. So every month it was like fighting again, sending in more paperwork. I had to continue going to my neurologist at least every month, because they needed new paperwork, you know. If I was having to give them paperwork in March, but I hadn't had a new doctor appointment since the last paperwork they got, then they wouldn't approve the extension. So I had to keep going to the doctor like every month, just for them to keep saying I have migraines and they haven't changed. My Mayo Clinic visit was April 11th. Get off the horse. We got work to do. We gotta kill all these people. So these are bandits. We want this for Imperial use, not for bandits. When I went to the Mayo Clinic in April, basically all the Mayo Clinic said was there was nothing they could do to help me. That pretty much me and my neurologist had already done what we could, and there was no new treatments or experimental treatments or something like that that the Mayo Clinic was doing that could help. So there was no point in me going there other than to get another opinion that said, yep, you've done everything. This year my migraines have been even worse. My highest months were 23 days and I've had 4 months at that. No, I'm sorry, I've had 3 months that were 23 days and one that was 22. January, May, and I think July were the 3 months that were 23. I believe August was the 22. September was a bit less. I haven't counted September yet to see where I ended, because September just ended yesterday, and I haven't thought about it yet. So go up and kill the bandits that are up. Oh, there's one over here that apparently does not want to die. Cicero's just chilling. Shadowmere's in my way. There you go, Cicero. Good job. I'm gonna feed on this one just because. I need to feed. I'm a vampire. So yeah, not much hope. Because they've gotten worse, not better. But it's okay. I stay positive. My husband is very supportive. My mom is very supportive. And that's all I need. I'll get through it, you know? Even if I have a migraine every day of my life, I'll get through it. The problem is, I'm 36, so that does suck that I can't really work anymore. I mean, it's not that there's no hope left. There's still a possibility of like a new treatment coming out. There is new stuff being tested all the time. So there is a possibility that a new treatment could come out that would help my migraines. So I don't have no hope just right now. There isn't anything that can help me. It's okay. The biggest issue, though, is that I can't work. So, June, like I said, is when my short-term disability ended, right? And at that point, what you do is transition to long-term disability. So, just to clarify, there's more than one type of disability. A lot of times when people hear the word disability, they think of government disability. I'm not talking about government disability. I will talk about that in a moment. But what I am talking about is through your employer. Either you or your employer pays for disability insurance for you, okay? Generally what disability insurance does is if you become hurt or sick and it falls under disability and you have to take some time off work, you will still get paid. And it depends on the company, your state, and all that, how much. For me, it was 60% of my income, which, you know, still hurt, but me and my husband made it work. However, come June, when I was supposed to transition over to long-term disability because there had been no improvement, it was not, you basically had to apply for it all over again, and they said no. So, I've appealed that. Unfortunately, I have not been paid since mid-June because of that. And this is now October 1st. My husband does not make enough money to cover all of our bills. Okay. I actually made more money than him whenever we were both working. Not by a lot, mind you, but I did make more money than him when we were working. Once my income went down to 60%, our incomes were actually about the same. But then eventually my insurance through my job stopped because they will only continue it for, I think it was like 3 months. I think it was in March. So I had to be put on my husband's insurance. And unfortunately that reduced his pay enough that I was again making more money than him, even on disability, so that sucked. But the worst part is the fact that I haven't been paid since mid-June. If you've been here for very long or heard very many of my did I get what I needed off him? Okay. Or heard very many of my videos, you will know we have a GoFundMe page because we have been lucky to not be evicted at this point. And the main reason we haven't been evicted is because the apartment manager here is one of the most compassionate people I've ever met. It gives me hope for the human race, how compassionate she has been. Their general rules are, you know, rent is late on the 5th, and that is still a thing I have to deal with. I have to pay a late fee when I'm paying it after the 5th, which is just about every single month. But if it's not paid by the 10th, the rule is that's when they file eviction. However, there's been a few months she's given us to the 20th, and for September, I still haven't paid rent, and it's October 1st. Now, she can only give me so much time. She's supposed to be contacting me tomorrow, most likely, to let me know, like, what day they're gonna file eviction if it's not paid by then. Our car has had a repossession order on it for like 3 months. Quite lucky that it has not been repossessed. We only have one car. The Mazda 3. It's nothing fancy. Not a BMW or something. But it could be repossessed any day. And they want almost $1,000 at this point. You know, we had the internet turned off for a little while. Our cell phones have been turned off for a bit. I know for some of you that are hearing this for the first time, you're gonna say things like government assistance, food stamps, you know, they even have government like assisted cell phone things and stuff. And that's great and all, but it doesn't help me. If you are not on disability, which I'm not yet, most of these places won't help you because what they're looking for is that their help is temporary. They do not want people getting government assistance for 20 years, okay? Understandable. You need to show that you're trying to better yourself, right? So, almost all of them, you know, they ask, are you currently working? Are you looking for, you know, work? No, because I'm, you know, I may not be on disability, but I'm disabled. And then their response is, well, are you getting disability? No. Then we're unable to help you. You either have to be able to work and looking for a job, or you have to be on disability for them to help. Food stamps actually said that my husband makes too much money. I actually think I need to reapply for food stamps though, because when I applied, I was still on short-term disability, so that income was taken into consideration. And I don't know how quickly you can reapply if your circumstances changed, but I do need to check into that. Let me write myself a note. Glad I thought of that while I'm talking to you. Thanks for the reminder. Food stamp. So it's called SNAP now, but almost everybody still calls it food stamp. It's habit. Alright, am I done? Did we finish? Report. Okay, yes. I didn't see that pop up because I was busy talking to you. So that's where I'm at when it comes to finances, which is awful. And for long-term disability, okay, so the appeal went in July. I was assigned a case manager for long-term disability, and he told me on July 31st that the way they do the appeal is they send out your file, all your paperwork, anything new you've submitted. They send it all to outside third-party doctors that are not affiliated with them, supposedly non-biased and all that, right? The doctors review the case, they get their findings back to the disability company, and the disability company makes a decision. He told me it should take about 4 to 6 weeks. It's been 8 weeks now. That was July 31st. Today is October 1st. So I actually talked to my case manager on Thursday, this past Thursday. What was that? September 27th? No, 28th? Anyway, not looking at a calendar. So what he told me then is that he was expecting a review back from the doctors that week, and then next week, which starts tomorrow, he was expecting that the disability company would make their decision based on the doctor's recommendation by the end of the week. So hopefully by Friday, the 6th, is that the 6th? Yeah? Yeah, I think it's the 6th. Hopefully by then I should have a decision back from long-term disability on the appeal. I could really use prayers and positive energy and such thrown my way that it is a yes. Because we're kind of screwed if it's not, and I'll get into that in a moment. Now, government disability, which is Social Security disability. Did apply for that in May.
It won't be a Welcome back.
I do have an attorney.
I'm glad you made it in one piece.
The first application was filed like May 13th or 11th or 15th, somewhere in there in mid-May.
It's time for you to officially join the Legion.
I do have an attorney, like I said. Most of you, if you've heard anything about disability, one of the first things you've heard is that it's difficult to get approved, and almost everyone is denied the first time. I was denied the first time. Not everyone is denied the first time.
Changed
My
your
mother
mind?
wasn't, but she has
Decided you
rheumatoid
wanted to
arthritis,
soldier for the
and it's pretty
Empire after
bad.
all.
And like she actually had to have one knee replaced. She really needs the other one replaced too.
Well then,
But it wasn't an
repeat
easy
after
thing,
me.
so she's not sure if she's gonna do
Upon
it.
my
But
honor, I
the
do
point
swear
is, rheumatoid
undying
arthritis is much
loyalty
more
to
easy
the
to
Emperor.
prove that you are physically disabled. MRIs can show the damage in your joints and such, things like that. There's physical proof.
And
And there's
unwavering
plenty of other
obedience to
people
the
that do get a
officers of
disability the
this
first
great
time because
empire.
they have something that is
May
easy to
those
prove.
above judge
And
me,
it's easy to prove
and
that
those
they
below
are
pity me,
disabled.
if I
They are
fail in my
unable
duty.
to do work.
Long live the Emperor.
Chronic migraines, on
Long
the
live
other
the
hand,
Empire.
completely different animal. There is no physical proof, first of all.
Welcome to the Imperial Legion, soldier.
I love that I just said long
Just
live the
remember,
Emperor when I
we
killed
take
the
care of our
Emperor.
own. Once you're in the Legion, you're in it for life.
Just saying.
Speak to him. He's normally out by the forge.
So,
He'll get you outfitted.
migraines are a different
Now,
animal
if
because
I'm
there's
not
no physical
mistaken,
proof.
Legate Ricca has a
Migraines are
special
all on me
assignment.
saying it. It's all based on me saying I have these symptoms on these days for this amount of time. And, no, this medication didn't make a difference. And this, this didn't do this and this did this. And it's all based on me saying it. There's no physical proof. So it makes it harder to get approved for disability with something like migraines because there's no proof. It's not impossible. There are people who have been approved for it, but
If Ulfric gets his hand on
it's
that
definitely
resource,
more
be it.
difficult.
Welcome to the Legion Auxiliary. Listen
Um,
up.
I thought the Moot chose
the what?
We're backing
I'm
Ellison.
supposed to
When the
talk
Moot
to
meets,
you.
they'll do the sensible
Welcome to the
thing.
There.
Legion Auxiliary.
Um,
Listen up. Ulfric's right-hand man,
my attorney
Galmar
filed
Stonefist,
an
has
appeal
located
August
what he
15th.
believes is the final resting
We're
place
still
of
waiting on
Jack
that.
Imperial. We're
The
going to
one
make
thing
sure
you
he doesn't
probably
get
know
his
about the
hands on it.
government, regardless
The
of
rest
what
of my
nation
men
you're
are
in, is
already
they are
assembling
probably
outside
slow as
Portland
hell,
Tower.
right?
I'll meet you there as soon as I finish up here.
They're not in a hurry to get anything done. And that goes for Social Security disability.
Not everyone's
They told
agreed
me
to the move.
60
You've been here long enough
to
to know that Nords aren't always sensible. We follow our hearts.
they told me 60 to 120 days, so that's 2 to 4 months. It hasn't even been 2 months yet. I don't expect an answer on my Social Security disability appeal. I just don't. So, not anytime soon. So, here's the biggest issue. I already said I have not paid September rent. Now October rent is due as well. I have no way to pay it. None. My GoFundMe has raised about $700-800 over the last several months, and that has helped us greatly get through those months. But it doesn't help for right now because that money's already been used. I do occasionally get new donations coming in of like, $25, $10, $50, even $100. But rent with water bill added and late fee added and all of this crap added to it is just over $1,000. So it would take
Don't like those eyes you got.
quite a
Yep.
bit.
I just have one question for you. Light, medium, or heavy? Here you go.
So yeah, that's not really. It's helped us, stay afloat having the book with me, but
One free outfit
not enough to save us from eviction.
or get it back now.
Tomorrow, like I said, the office is supposed to contact me to give me more of an idea of when they're going to be filing eviction. They'd be able to work with me more if I had definitive information, like if I could say, I've been approved and I'm getting the check on this day. Then they could work with that a little better, but I don't have that information. I don't even know if I'm going to be approved, let alone when I'm going to get the money. When I get approved, because we're going to think positive, when I get approved for long-term disability, they will be back paying me to mid-June. So the amount of money I receive will actually take care of everything. We will be able to catch rent up, including the fee for filing eviction if they've already filed at that time, because that does add more you have to pay. We'll be able to get my car caught up so it's not, you know, in danger of being repossessed. Electricity, internet, we'll be able to get our cell phones turned back on. I've already done so much math on this. It will get us caught up. Like, it will get us completely caught up. So, cross your fingers, pray, send me some positive energy, send me some luck, whatever. That we get an answer next week and that it is an approval. If we're denied, we will have to leave. We will have to leave Florida, and we will have to leave Florida in like an emergency type way. And that's not going to be easy. We don't even have the money to leave. So it's not, that's not going to be easy if we have to do that. Not at all. Make sure I have the, okay, yeah, we're gonna go with the Jagged Crown. So yeah. You see a dragonfly over me? Cause I saw a dragonfly over me. See it. Normally I don't make you guys sit through loading screens and all of this, but I've been talking to you, so it just seems weird to like stop talking. Dude, the sky is so pretty. You guys know it's one of my favorite parts about Skyrim. Alright, let's just walk. Oh, there's a troll. Anyway, that's where I'm at. That's my update. Don't expect much of an update on migraines unless some new treatment comes out or I get in some kind of trial program. Because I'm not expecting much in terms of my migraines. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay having migraines. I'd rather not, obviously. But I can survive. I can make it work. I have enough support. So, alright. Actually, we're not gonna get the Jagged Crown because I just realized I've been talking for 37 minutes. So we're gonna call it. When we resume, we will go get the Jagged Crown. Oh, and for anyone who may be thinking we'll just take medicine for your migraines and then go to work. First of all, it's not that simple. Right now I average 20 migraines a month, so 20 days a month I have migraines. And medication, first of all, may or may not work. And secondly, people with chronic migraines are especially susceptible to what's called medication overuse headaches or rebound headaches. It's basically when you've been medicating yourself too much and it actually causes you to have a headache. And it basically causes a migraine again because that's what you had. It's like your body needs it. It needs it all the time to keep the pain away. We are not supposed to take any type of medication that will get rid of a migraine, whether it's a prescription or like Excedrin or Aleve or something, more than 2 or 3 times a week. So that's a lot of migraines I still gotta have, and that's assuming those times I take medication actually work. It doesn't always. I have had to go to the emergency room for migraines multiple times. Last year, I want to say it was like 5 times, 6 times that I had to go to the emergency room or urgent care for a migraine. So, it's really difficult. It's a very misunderstood disease. Even doctors don't understand it. I'm in like a support group, Facebook group for people with migraines, and um, we all talk about like what our doctors tell us, and nobody can agree. Like no doctors can agree. Like for example, one of the preventative medications I was put on to take every day to try to prevent migraines, my neurologist told me once we get to 50 milligrams of it, we started at 10, move up gradually. I was told once I get up to 50 milligrams of it, if that's not helping, then it's considered a failure because if it won't help beyond that. If it hasn't helped by 50 milligrams, it's not going to help. But I've talked to people in this group that have been put on 150 milligrams of it. You know, I was put on a magnesium supplement immediately, 250 milligrams a day, but there's others in the group taking 500 and 600 milligrams a day that their doctors told them to take. You know, my doctor told me 2 sessions of Botox, and if it hasn't worked by then, it's not going to work. Whereas others, their doctors are telling them 3 to 4, and they're saying that that was accurate for them. There are some people saying after the 4th session, that's when it really started helping. So, not only is there misinformation and misunderstandings among just, you know, regular people like you and I of what migraines are, but doctors can't get together on it, on what it is, how to treat it, what causes it. They don't know. They really don't know what causes migraines still. That is actually a science doctors. So there's theories. Like there's theories that the trigeminal nerve is involved. They're pretty certain inflammation of that nerve is involved. But they don't know for certain yet. So, alright. I've talked enough. My throat's starting to hurt. I'm gonna let you go. Sorry for the length of the video. But, you know, I treat these as vlogs sometimes too. I just vlog while I'm playing. So, I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye.